Was a 78-day shutdown here in Nevada worth it? Or was it the biggest gamble we ever made? We're going to talk about that today. My name is Steven, and I am not leaving Las Vegas, a full-time Vegas blogger. And we want you guys to think about things before you just jump to conclusions. Was Mayor Goodman right? Are we just a giant petri dish? Were we always destined to be one? And was she very, very wrong in when she said it? So those are the two things we're going to kind of talk about today. Now, as you know, Vegas has reopened to some capacity, to some extent. It's not completely all there yet, but from what we saw over the weekend, it was very, very nice. And, it was nice to see people back in town. It was an active situation. People were happy. People were getting along. People were doing their best to social distancing, adhering to those stickers they put on the floors everywhere. But then again, we put up a lot and we gambled a lot by shutting down for a long time. So was it all worth it? What should we have done in the future? What could we do in the future? Let's talk about all that kind of stuff. Plus, Carolyn Goodman. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to videos. Hit the bell for the future notifications if you feel so kind to do so. If you want to support the channel, you can go on Patreon. I recently put this up as early access. This is my video I took downtown on Fremont Street. It was a good time. I did a nice little montage. That'll get up on YouTube eventually. But we also have Vegas face mask with no S at the end. My wife makes face masks. It's a two-person operation. You're always dealing with me and her. And we also send you a nice signed thank you letter when you get the two only face masks you'll ever need. And if you're coming to Vegas and you want to save money and credit back the channel, check out the link below for our Vegas.com affiliate. It's the one you see on the screen right now, and you can save money, and they also give you $50 credit when you book anything out of over a certain amount and you come to Vegas and enjoy your stay, so you can get an extra credit to spend while you're here in Las Vegas. So savings for you. All right, that being said, we're going to talk about whether it was worth it. Was it worth it to close down Las Vegas for 78 days? Probably not. But that's not to say we shouldn't have closed down. A lot of you guys are real mad right now, and you're typing furiously on your keyboards about how, I'm irresponsible to say that we shouldn't have shut down Vegas. Au contraire, mon ami, that's not what I actually said. What I'm saying is, probably wasn't good to shut it down for 78 days. The economic impacts and ripples that were shot out amongst the community and the local businesses here were tremendously bad. It's very, very hard to go to my job and try to help people with marketing and advertising when they didn't have any revenue stream for nearly 3 months. It was not good. Now, we didn't know what we don't know. And when we have bad data, we make bad decisions. And we operate out of fear. We make fearful decisions. Those are both things done under duress. If you ever bought anything under extreme pressure and then turned out it was a terrible thing because you didn't make the right decision, that's kind of what we had to do. We had to buy a concept of shutting down the entire economy, essentially the state of Nevada, for that long. Whether or not it should have stayed shut down that long, well, that's not for me to say. That's something that Governor Sisolak thought he should do, and he did what he did. So we'll see what happens in his re-election. But I think we could have definitely gone about it a little bit differently. I think that if, as I said before in the past, had our state level governments communicated better with the local level governments, we would have had a better experience. Additionally, had the state gotten in with private industry, not to track individual human beings, but just individual cases of the C19 virus, would have been a different experience. You would have known what was actually going on. Instead, the state didn't realize that they had some of the biggest data collectors and aggregators on the planet here in Nevada, people who can track everything down to how many minutes you played blackjack the last trip you were here, or how many spins on a slot machine you made. They didn't realize that they had all of these companies that just deal in data. That's all they do for a living. That's what casinos are, data collection companies. And they didn't reach out, so we didn't know what was going on. Thankfully, that seems to not be the case. Nevada is now updating cases on a daily basis, both positives, negatives, and also deaths. So we do know what we do now. So going forward, we have a lot better time. But have we done it properly? We probably could have gotten away with doing a Georgia or a South Carolina and having an economy that didn't grind to a halt. But that's actually neither here nor there for this reason. Even if we had kept the casinos open, most of the country, no, I'm wrong, all of the country, with the exception of maybe South Carolina, they shut down in some capacity. And when you shut down your government, you don't have the people coming in. When international travel grinds to a halt, you don't have people coming in. We do rely on all of these people coming to Las Vegas. So whether or not we had shut down for a week, 2 weeks, or a month, there wouldn't have been people coming into town, which leads us into the casinos making a very cost related decision, whether or not they keep themselves open and lay off most of their staff, or just shut it down entirely and cut their losses for a while and chalk this up to the biggest, craziest time of our lives. They might have just chosen to shut things down anyways, so it might not have been an issue here nor there. So I think we could have shut down for a shorter period of time. I do agree that we needed to know more about what we were up against, and then once we started learning, we should have taken more data and done a better job at actually figuring out what was going on. Now, are we a petri dish? Essentially, yes. Carolyn Goodman was right, even though she upset people, saying it at a very sensitive time. If you don't know the story, she went on Anderson Cooper's show. Anderson Cooper is, of course, a professional interviewer who knows what he's talking about before he sits down with his guest. She had people that made sure she didn't know what Anderson was going to ask, and then she blurted out that we would be a petri dish, and she would be welcome to that idea. But it can go without saying that we were going to be one of those anyways. It could be argued that we were a petri dish dating all the way back to December, January, and February when the consumer electronics rolled through. You had Cowboy Christmas and people traveling all over Las Vegas in the month of December, not knowing what we were really up against. So we're kind of already been a petri dish. It's unfortunate. Nobody wants to consider humans as experiments, and that's not what I'm recommending. But we are in a situation that's very, very unique. So the world will be watching Las Vegas, and if the world's watching Las Vegas and everything works out just fine, Sisolak might be reelected along with Carolyn Goodman. Who knows? He'll take credit for shutting it down for a long time. She'll take credit for saying what she said and saying, see, I told you it was going to be okay. And everybody takes credit for everything after the fact if they can absolutely do that. But it's been tough, it's been rough, and it's been an experience here in town. Whether or not we should have shut it down as long as we did, well, that's for the future to decide. Historians will look back on this time and see when we had to do the extremes to get things going. And people will look back on this time and then analyze whether or not we did a good or a bad job. And that's the case, what happens with every single situation that we go into. We go in with a certain data set, we analyze that data set, we define it, we refine it, we get some more data, we get better ones, and then we move on forward, making it better for us. So, that being said, I'm Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I hope you like, share, subscribe the videos. Hope you guys check out the Patreon so you can see the early access videos. VegasFaceMask.com. You'll be supporting the channel in that way and getting something cool in the mail that you guys can use when you have to. Certain stores are requiring masks around here. I can't walk in without a mask. And so you guys might need one where you are. And you can also check out Vegas.com by using the special link that I provide to you. It's the one that says notleavinglasvegas.com/Vegas baby, and that'll get you a discount once you get here. Get you a discount on your rooms just to start with. Right now they got a $50 promo code that you get when you show up to town, and you can use that on cool stuff like experiences and attractions and dining and things like that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. We're gonna say 3, 2, 1, click now. 3, 2, 1, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Click.